Greetings hobbyists, this is Artisans of Vol. And in this video we're going to have a look at sculpting in Blender 4.3, the changes, and how to make the best out of the options that you've now got available to you. So Blender 4.3 is scheduled to release on the 19th of November 2024, so if you're watching this on the first day it's released, that's tomorrow. Now you'll see that I'm using the Blender 4.3.0 release candidate. You can see that in the bottom right hand corner, and you can always see what version of Blender you're using there. So there may be a few really minor changes between this and what comes in Blender 4.3, but they should be very minor. So we're not going to talk about all the changes today, but we're going to specifically focus on the sculpting. And if I click on this quad sphere and go into sculpt mode, you can see that this is quite changed. We've got many less brushes on the left hand side, and if we have a look at the bottom here, we've got our sculpting brush shelf, which has all of our sculpting options in much nicer, clearer iconography of what they do. Now this also is going to make it much easier to make custom brushes and bring in custom brush sets as well, so you're not going to have to do it repeatedly. So what we're going to do is talk through how we can customize this to be the way that we want, and then we'll talk about how we can create custom brushes and make sure that they're in every file that we use without having to set them up again. So first things first, if you scroll all the way down here and you get rid of this in sculpt mode, you can suddenly wonder where these sculpt brushes have gone. And if you normally go to where we would bring up things like our assets, you can see there's no option for sculpt brushes, even if we go into asset browser. So we don't have any of our sculpting brushes there. Let's just join that back together. But instead we have this tiny little arrow in the bottom right hand corner of our viewport window that we can drag up, and that's where these brushes are. So if you want to find your brushes, that's where they are if you've got rid of this. There are other options as well though. You can come to where your brush asset is in either the tools here, and that's got all of your options that you can scroll through. If you've got your N panel open, by hitting N, you can click here and you've got all of them. And also, if we just go to Edit and Preferences, if you go to Get Extension and type in Pi, this 3D Viewport Pi menus is a really useful one to have. I've already got this installed, and then you'll need to go to Add On, and then once again you're going to need to activate your 3D Viewport Pi menu. I'm going to do that here, and then we've got lots of options of what 3D Viewport Pis we want. The only one that we're interested in this instance is the W key. So if, for example, I have got rid of this, I can just hit W and come there, and you've got all of your brushes. So that's quite useful. So depending on how you want to get to this is entirely up to you. I quite like having this shelf at the bottom. I think this is going to be really useful when using things like a tablet. Though I will say, I probably want my icons to be a little bit bigger, so we can come to this, and then we can increase the size of them as we choose. And if you're new to sculpting, or you don't sculpt a lot, or you're trying to get used to what these new icons are, we can put name, and you've got all of the names suddenly. The other option of how to control this is at the moment we've got all of our brushes, but you can also control what brushes there are in other settings. So for example, at the moment we have all the brushes, or I can make them there, so that's all of the brushes. We can get rid of that as it's probably a bit much. We can have the mesh sculpt brushes, but again, that's everything underneath it. I don't need the paint brushes there. I'm not going to use that often, so I'll get rid of that. If I come to general, I probably want the add and subtract, contrast, transform, and utilities to be separate and available to me. So I can click on the add and subtract ones and have those there, just those ones, or the contrast ones, which are where we sort of flatten or trim things, the transform ones, and then the utilities ones as well. Though I don't use the utility ones that often, maybe that's not worth having there. So as I say, this is going to probably make things vastly easier for us if we're going to be doing things in a tablet, which I really like. And I do like these much larger icons that give you a much clearer view of what things do. For example, the plateau brush, basically if I click on this, it's one of the new brushes. Let's just F to make this a bit bigger. Whatever I click on here, it's basically going to take a tangent of that, and then it will create a plateau that follows that tangent wherever I go to. So we get this perfectly flat plateau along that original angle, which is really cool. So there are some new brushes to explore as well, but that's not really what we're going to be covering today. The main thing that I do want to focus on is how we make custom brushes or save our brushes as custom brushes. So for example, if I have a look at the draw brush at the moment, let's just F to get that smaller, we've got this draw brush that is relatively soft, and importantly our stroke is the space method, which basically means we click and drag it and it works. Now, what if I want to have something where I'm going to be able to click between different brushes really quickly? Well, all we need to do is right click, and then we can click duplicate asset, and we need to give it a name. So I'm going to call this draw line because that's what I'm going to set up. We also need to change the library because at the moment it's nothing for mine. This might automatically go to something else for you, but I'm going to click Blender Assets because we want this to save to our Blender Assets. Click Save, and now you notice I've got a draw line option. Now at the moment, these are exactly the same. They've just got a different name. But let's change this. I'm going to change the stroke to line because that's what I've named it, and I'm going to make this much stronger. So now we've got our draw brush there, we've got our draw line brush, which works there and is sharper. To get this saved, we're going to right click on this, and we are going to click Save Changes to Asset because we've changed this asset. Now what this means, because this is saved as an asset, if I just go to File and New, and we'll bring in a new file, we won't even bother saving this file, and I'm just going to go through the bits of setting this up and bringing in a quad sphere so we can talk through this. I'll just speed that up. And you'll see here, if we just up the size of this again so it's a bit easier to see and bring in the names, that we still have this draw line, and the draw still looks like that, the draw line still looks like that. And if you do want to change anything here, so the automatic strength is at, let's say, 0.5, we can do that, and then we just need to right click on it, and once again, save changes to asset, or we can just revert to asset, and it goes back to what it normally was. So that's really useful as well. You can change things a bit and then just go, well, actually, I want this to be back the way it normally was. So revert to asset, and we're good to go. A really helpful ability to be able to make these custom brushes, and you know it's going to come into your new files where you want to. I'm actually going to right click. We're going to get rid of this because we might want to. So we're going to delete that asset, click delete. And what if I want to automatically have this as this size? Now, I already have a startup file ready, so I'm just going to bring in a cube just so it's like my normal startup file. And I'm going to click File, and we're going to go to Defaults and Save Startup File. Overwrite the old one, and now it has this all saved. So if I go to File, New, and General, and then click Don't Save, here we've got exactly the same start, but if I do go into Sculpt mode, you'll notice it's saved now that I prefer this size, that I want it this far out, that I could have saved it here, and it has saved that I want the text underneath. So that File, Defaults, and Save Startup File will keep what you want so that it's there, but make sure you set it up exactly the way you want as the startup file. For example, I had it just in object mode, just with that cube, because normally I'll start straight in object mode. If you sculpt a lot, you might want to set this up already with a subdivided sphere. Now what makes this really powerful is you can set this all up so that you've got your custom brushes all ready to go. For example, I have some VDMs that I made of bullet holes, and I really want to have those accessible in every single file. So I'm going to set that up. I'll talk through this. You could do this for alphas as well. So you've got all these textures, like different skin textures ready to go so that they're already there. We'll do exactly the same thing, duplicate asset, and importantly, I'm picking the draw brush here. I'll talk about that later, so make sure you've got that. Once again, save it as a Blender asset, and I'm going to call this bullet A because I've got a number of different bullet hole types. We'll click save, and then we've got bullet A. And we're going to set this up exactly the way we normally would a VDM brush. I want to add a texture, so I'm going to go to texture and click new, and then for this, click here to come to the texture, or we could come down to the bottom here, open, go to my bullet hole file and open the EXR of this VDM. If you'd like to know how to create VDMs or alphas, I've got a couple of videos on those. I'll put links to both of them in the description so that you can go and have a look at how you can create these brushes yourself if you want to, or you can download them from other places. Open image, and it's going to put the image here, and we've just got a few minor settings to change. I'm going to put the strength up to 1 and get rid of that because that's for when you use a tablet and it's how strong you press down will affect the strength. I don't want that for a VDM. I'm going to go to texture. It should be area plane already, and I want to put vector displacement. For stroke, I want to have anchored, that's really important. And then fall off, we want to have constant. So now, with my bullet hole, I can drag on my thing, rotate it around, and we've got our bullet holes. But at the moment, we've got this image, which is not very helpful. So what we'll do is right click, edit preview image, find your image that you've made if you've got one of your texture, and then load your preview image. I did that with this red texturing because I prefer it, but also it means that we're going to have a nice clear, these are my custom brushes. So now I've got bullet hole A. I'm going to right click and make sure I save changes to that asset. And then if I want to do another one, I'm just going to right click, duplicate asset, bullet hole B this time, save it. And then for bullet hole B, all I need to do is get rid of this texture. So here's that texture, let's get rid of that. Open a new one, go to bullet hole B, open the image, and we're pretty good to go because all of these settings are the same from where we set up bullet hole A. I just need to right click and once again, edit my preview image and go to my image for bullet hole B. And now we've got bullet hole B and we've got bullet hole A with these slight differences. One's a bit more constantly in, one has got other different layers to it. And I can do this for all my bullet holes. I'm just going to right click, save changes to asset, and now we'll once again go to a new file, just setting this up in exactly the same way, but now you'll notice in the sculpt brush it's going to be larger because I saved that startup file and we've got those ready to go. Now, let's talk about some important bits in terms of making sure things go to the right place so that we have them ready to go. Now, you remember I said specifically that I want to do the draw brush when I duplicated the asset the first time. Now, the reason for that is that I wanted these brushes to be in my add and subtract section of brushes, and the draw brush is already there. If I'd have gone to contrast and then copied one of these, because we could have done this using, let's say, the flatten brush or any other brush we wanted to, then it would be now in the contrast section instead of the add and subtract. Now there is a way of changing this if we want to. If I click on this and then right click and then go to edit metadata, you can see here we've got a description of this first, which we might want to change. So I could change this to bullet hole VDM B so that that's there. I can put the author as me, so I'll do that. But we can also change the catalog. So for example, I could put this into general instead, or I could put this into add and subtract instead if I wanted to. So that is one option. So you can do it that way. Okay, so edit the metadata, but I've kept it there. Now what I would love to be able to do is right click here and add more options to this. So I'd love to be able to create my own basically library to be able to add more to this and create things with my own name. But if you do want to just see the ones that you've created, you could come here and click Blender Assets, and that gives you just your brushes that are in each of these sections. Though for some reason it seems a little bit buggy here of it then showing them in all of them. This suddenly doesn't really work very well. Or you could come here and then go to Essentials, and then suddenly you've only got the ones that should be there that come as part of Blender, or always go back to all libraries. So you do have some control over what you see here. So I'll probably keep this on Essentials, but I would love to be able to put these into a place where we don't just have these ones, we have options and other names that we've given to our brushes. So for example, I could make a bullet hole section and I can just put all the bullet holes into that, and then I could have my skin textures somewhere else. So let's have a look at how we can do that, though it's a little bit more tricky. Now the problem is at the moment we can't set this up in a way that these appear here. So what we need to do is create a catalog or a library for this to be placed into. Let's just make sure that we've got all of them so that we can see everything here. So what we need to be able to do is find a place to put this in our metadata. So if I right click and edit metadata again, you can see if I get rid of this catalog and then click, we do have, if I just scroll down, catalogs that we've got from elsewhere as well. So for example, these are all of my catalogs on the asset browser. So this is where we can put our assets. Now what we can't do is just make a new one in this section. So what we need to do, let's cancel that, is create a new place for this to go. And to do that, we need to find a file where we can edit our assets. Now at the moment I can't with this one because I haven't saved it. It's unsaved and that doesn't like fiddling around with assets. So if I just go to File and then we'll save this as, and I actually have a file for my Blender assets. I'm going to call this Sculpting Brushes. So we'll save this. At that point, if I go here, I can now, or I should be able to, start fiddling around with my assets. So let's go to object mode, come up here, drag up. So I just made a file called Blender Assets, so I just made that myself. I'm going to go to my asset browser, and here we've got all of our asset browser catalogs that I've made in other files that I use for my assets. You will probably have very little or nothing here. Then when you say we're not editing all libraries, we're just editing the current file. So let's go there. Then suddenly this plus icon here will light up so we can use it. So I'm going to click plus. Let's rename this Sculpting Brushes. So that's now there. Click plus, and we're going to rename this Bullet Holes. And to make sure that these are set up, you notice there's a star next to some of them. I need to click File and Save, and now we know that that's there. Now with this asset library good to go, what I can now do is come into sculpt mode, or should be able to do, right click, and then edit metadata, get rid of the add and subtract, click on that, and I should be able to find Sculpting Brushes, and specifically I want Sculpting Brushes / bullet holes. Click edit metadata, and it's now disappeared from our general, which is good. Then I'm going to do the same thing, edit metadata for my bullet hole A. Let's get rid of that. Scroll down, do the same thing, click edit the metadata, and then these are all going to be gone. But when we come here and we look at our libraries, in all libraries or Blender assets, you'll notice there's Sculpting Brushes and specifically our sub one of bullet holes. So I might want to click that. Oh, and notice this is slightly buggy. Why has that done that? Let's go to all libraries, and yeah, it seems to have gone away. Again, this is the release candidate, not the final version. So let's just add our add and subtract, contrast, transform utilities. So we've got all and those, but that does mean that now we can go to our individual ones or specifically to the bullet holes. So we've got everything really easy to find, or we can just go to all for everything. And we can set that up for whatever different things we've got. So for example, I could have one of skin textures or bark or rocks, which is really, really nice that we can always have this ready to go. One thing that I haven't mentioned yet, which I'm going to do now, is that I imagine that for you to be able to do this trick of creating this, you're going to need to set this up correctly so that we have an asset browser folder. So just if we quickly go to edit and preferences, and then we come here to file paths, you'll notice that there is an asset libraries here, and you'll have your user library, and then you won't have this Blender assets. So what I did is actually just created a file that I called Blender assets, click plus, and then you find where that is, and then you save your preferences so that is part of your asset library. Otherwise, anything you change might not come up here, and this is a very important stage, so do make sure that you've done that, because I can't guarantee that this will work without you having a Blender asset folder set up, and I think you're probably going to need to put whatever file you're using into that Blender asset folder. Finally, to end on, as I said, there are links to these videos on how to create these bullet holes or just general VDMs and how to do alpha textures in the description. But if you are interested in these bullet holes, so there are actually a range of them, then you're more than welcome to have a look at the Patreon, where if you join the 3D design folder tier, I'm going to put these back up so that you can grab these and just really quickly use them yourself to create this, and then you'll be able to just have your own set of bullet holes ready for use in your sculpting. And that will help to support the channel as well, which is really appreciated because it just allows me the time to make all of these videos. Have a great day, guys.